Let's go into your background because you have a very interesting story too, and you come from a very big volleyball family.
Yes.
And why don't you start with that? What was your childhood like, and when did you find the passion for volleyball?
This is a long story, but we'll start from the beginning. I'm actually from Hilo, of all places. My father's from Hilo, so we were over there. I spent my childhood there. I was there basically throughout all the 80s. And unbeknownst to me in that time, here on Oahu, which is where my mom's from, my mom is from the Crab family, her brothers were big-time volleyball players. And again, back in the 80s, I kind of get bits and pieces of it about their coaching and playing careers. But in 1989, which is going into my 9th grade year, I got into Punahou School. And I had grown up not really playing volleyball. My parents played tennis. My older sister, very good tennis player. So I kind of just followed suit on the Big Island. And I was very involved with tennis. I wasn't very good at it though. I think it wasn't my calling. Put in a lot of time, had some success, but it just wasn't for me. So I got into Punahou School, and fortunately, my uncle Chris Crab took me in because Punahou didn't have boarding. There's no dorms. I needed somewhere to live. So my mom's brother and his wife, Chris and Paula Crab, took me in. So when I showed up here on Oahu, I just kind of got this whole,
Immersed into volleyball.
Yeah, immersed into it. I got a taste of all this. My uncles were players. They played down at the Outrigger Canoe Club, and also getting into Punahou, which, as you know, is a huge boys volleyball factory, basically. So I showed up here in the late 80s, which was kind of the heyday for all that. There was all these great Outrigger men's players and all these Punahou Outrigger guys that were coming up through the ranks. I mean, I showed up, and next thing you know, I'm playing with all these future Olympians. It was kind of like the heyday of all of it. The older guys were coming home still. Nowadays, we still have a great group of Outrigger products and Punahou products, but a lot of them stay on the mainland or go to Europe and play professionally. So they don't come home. But I think back then, these great players would come home and just start their 9-to-5 jobs Monday through Friday. And then they were just weekend warriors on the weekends, playing down at the Outrigger, playing down in Waikiki. So right when I showed up, that was happening. So I got a taste of all this, and that's when I realized volleyball was the sport for me. And again, I have all these cousins that played, and aunties and uncles, and I mean, the list goes on and on. So like you said, I was just immersed into it, put into it, and that was the beginning of all this.